Welcome to Stub Stories. I'm Sylvia. I'm that friend who gets you into shows, yet you don't know what I do for a living.
And I'm Ricky. I'm the friend that's begging you to come see bands you've probably never heard of. Today, we're talking about an artist that you definitely have heard of, Miss Janet Jackson.
If you're nasty.
I was going to go with that, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to tee it up, see if somebody else takes it.
Correct.
Yay, it's the Janet episode.
Yeah. So you guys saw Janet last weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yes. Yeah. I'm so excited to hear all about this.
Yes. We've been planning this since January. So it's...
Was it since January?
Yeah, that's when it was announced. So...
when did you call me and tell me?
Okay, so let's rewind to the beginning.
Let's rewind this.
I got Fabio and our cousin Cassandra the VIP. So that means, you know, you get seats in the first couple of rows and a post-show meet and greet with Janet Jackson. I call up Fabio and I'm like, Fabio, would you like to meet Janet Jackson? Fabio, what did you tell me?
I said, absolutely not. It was too much.
Yeah, too much.
That's fair.
For 6 months or whatever it was,
I've been dreading this moment.
Dreading the moment, loving it and hating it at the same time because the jokes were pouring in about how he would be a total idiot around her. I think he was not, but I don't know. But let's I guess we'll start with let's start with the show.
Let's start with the show.
What did you think of the show?
I thought the show was really entertaining. She played a huge amount of hits. I mean, I think from what I gathered and what I looked up, she played like over 34 songs.
Oh, wow. 39.
Was it 39? There you go.
39 songs.
Like, that's insane. And some of them,
songs.
Yeah, some of them she hadn't played before. Pretty cool. I'll be honest with you, there were so many songs I couldn't keep track. I mean, I had my favorites that were definitely in there, so I was happy with that. But it was a great show. We were in the second row, and I really appreciated the stage layout because it was like at chest height, which is great versus some other events where when you're at the first couple of rows. Yeah, Madonna. I wasn't gonna throw it out there, but like her stage was literally like skyscraper. I mean, literally, we're literally like here, like enjoying. I'm like, oh my god, Madonna, you're awesome. Literally looking up her nostrils
on a pedestal.
Yeah. So I really appreciated that it was like normal, a normal height, and she was there in all of her glory, and she was amazing for 58 and still dancing the way that she does, and she was right there with her dancers, every move, and she was singing. I mean, she was great. It was really, really good. Really enjoyed it.
I was watching, you guys' like Instagram stories, and it looked incredible. What a performer! She's 58. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. In my mind, Janet could be either like 45 or like 75 because like she obviously is older than me and was like a bigger star before I was born. But I think, I don't know, for some reason I'm kind of surprised that she's like still in her 50s.
Well, she mentioned she's been in the industry 51 years, which is as many years I've been alive. So wow. She was Penny on Good Times. Like, we had this whole conversation.
Penny.
So the thing I liked about the show was that she didn't need a big production. She didn't need this crazy choreography. It was just her and the voice. And, obviously she had dancers and things, but she was having fun. And it was great to watch that. Like the same, you get all the hits, nasty, and just all the ones and then she'll mix it up with some deep cuts, and everybody knew them anyway because it's Janet Jackson. But it was nice to hear them live. Like I said, there was 39 songs. There was 4 acts that she, divided the show. I love when artists do that. There's different parts of the show, and she had 4 acts and 2 songs for the encore. She ended off with Together Again. Obviously, that's the name of the tour. And and the thing also, Fabio failed to mention is that last year we went to go see her at the Xfinity Center
That's right.
in Mansfield, and that kicked off the season. And next door was when Taylor Swift was also kicking off her, 2 or 3 nights at Gillette.
Yeah.
So that was a whole thing. So it was fun to see last year versus this year. Well, I mean, last year she hadn't played in 4 or 5 years live. She hadn't toured, and it did really, really well. It was sold out. And this year, again, it's great to see her doing that and expand the tour. But yeah, I enjoyed watching Fabio sob and dance. And
I was a dancing machine. I was just like moving and grooving, and I was just, but there were people around me that were just not doing it. But whatever.
Yeah,
there are more important, like recording and stuff. I recorded a little bit, but it was one of those moments where I was like, no, I'm going to take this in. I'm sure there are others in my party that will be recording.
Well, it was me, but but it was the first show. I said this to Fabio. It was the first show where I was done recording and taking photos by like mid-set, because it was such a great setup where she was just right in front of us. Like even she, commanded the stage and different things, but we were dead center of the stage. So she spent a lot of time there. And so I'm like, man, I mean, how many times going to take this photo? Because it was perfect.
It's all going to look the same. Yeah.
The same. I mean, of course, the hits, you try to get like some snippets and things like that. And I shared it to Stub Stories, and the fan groups, the Janet fan group, started sharing that pretty quickly. And then they went to my stories and started sharing those. So that was kind of cool when you started seeing the fan groups going, hey, that's a new outfit that she wore. And I was like, wow, this is kind of great. This whole like sidebar conversation happening on social right now. So it was fun.
The costumes were excellent too. Like, I mean, from beginning to end, she had, I'm just only thinking of this now. I don't know, maybe there was like 6 or 7 costume changes.
Wow.
There was probably like maybe 4 of them where like it was like reveals within them. So like, may have been a dress or like a train, and then like, removed it. So you'd count that as one. But I mean, the costumes were great. They looked really, really good. Dancers were really entertaining. It was a really fun show. I mean, she didn't really to what you were saying earlier, there was really no need for like all this extra, like, glitter and like, entertainment on the side, because it was just enjoying her and her body of work, really. That was what you're there for. Usually you don't need like, the fire dancers or the, the trapeze artists and all that, which is entertaining on its own. But when you have someone of her caliber, you're just like in awe, and it's more than enough.
I was going to say, this going to the stage side is that most artists today have like, those walkways. She didn't have a walkway. It was like a total like old school, like this is the stage. And we're not adding anything to it. I'm guessing it's because she's also playing amphitheaters. So that would be kind of hard to do that. But I appreciated that it didn't have like a ton of things. I mean, she did have great production, like even the beginning, how it started looked like a giant chandelier. It was great and fantastic. And even Nelly in the beginning, the opener.
Oh yeah, Nelly opened up great.
Yep.
I had
with the Celtics jersey, bedazzled with so much ice on him that I was like, wow, I could buy that church that I want to buy for Jack.
For Jack.
The museum,
he had
with this,
so much bling
his
on.
Jewelry. Yeah.
He thanked Boston for our accomplishment. I was looking up at the rafters. I'm like, where is it?
Fabio, what was that accomplishment? You don't even know. It's not even up in the rafters. It's the first game.
Totally. I'm playing
put it up there.
I mean, I think there was a flag or something. I don't know. A banner.
Fabio, we're not allowed to talk about that stuff. If we don't know, we just stay away.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, so you and me, Clay.
Yes, the two of us.
Yeah, it wasn't up there. What the hell? Where is it?
They'll pull it up there for the first home game of the season. So it won't be up there until like October.
Got it. Yeah. That was a nice jersey though. If I'm not in sports, but no, not my thing. And I've never owned a jersey of any team in my life.
Really?
Like before. No.
Not even for soccer?
No, not even.
Your dad didn't make you sorry.
No. he didn't. I was far too independent and rambunctious to be like, no. But that jersey that he was wearing for the Celtics the other night, that was nice. That was a nice one. I actually was like, I wonder.
There you go. Nelly,
Maybe.
pulling you in.
So, yeah.
How was the production compared to last year? Because was it the same? Was it like an extension of the tour, or was it like a completely new everything?
This one felt a little bit bigger than last year. Last year seemed more contained in a way.
Okay.
The choreography wasn't as big. It was there, but it wasn't as I wouldn't even say elaborate. But it just seemed this tour just seemed like an expanded version of what she had from last year, which was great.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought last year, I'm so used to like these artists going over the top with all these productions that it was refreshing to see.
Yeah.
Last year that it's just her talent and just doing her thing. I also think probably like 4 years not touring that you don't want to get all nuts with all that. But I even like the amount of dancers. I think last year she only probably had like 3
She
or
had the same
4.
amount of dancers from
did?
last year. This year was 4 last year and 4 this year. She did have. I kind of missed. I missed the first like 3-4 minutes of the opening just because we were trying to.
Why?
Oh yeah. So me and my cousin Cassandra, we're parched.
The 2 big fans, not the other 2 that were there.
Yeah. So we're very, very thirsty, and Nelly was just done performing, so we're just gonna go jump and go grab some waters. We're thirsty, so we went really quick, and of course there's a line a mile long. We're like, what the? But then I'm looking at her and she's looking at me. I'm just like, we're really thirsty. So like, oh well, it'll go quick. It'll go quick. Whatever. We met a lovely couple. Shout out to Debbie and Jim.
Oh, we're doing shout outs now ever since that last episode.
I loved them. They were great. They're in their early 60s. They just retired. They just recently moved down to Florida.
You stop. Like,
I love
this
it.
is about Janet, not your new friend.
No. Like, we're already messaging on Instagram. I'm gonna bump it.
Nice.
So, and then we couldn't get out in time. We literally just got our waters as she's performing, and we're heading back. So even though we didn't see the opening act like at our seats, we saw it as we were walking towards it. And of course we had to go through like 3 levels of security, like to check for our tickets to make sure that we could even see it as we were walking up to back to our seats. So that was kind of like, what the hell? We're the ones that should be
I'm looking at the text that Fabio sent me. Son of a bitch when it started playing. That's all it was sent. And I was saying, and meanwhile, I was taking pictures of Fabio always has like to get a pretzel. So I was taking pictures of random guys, eating their pretzels.
And I didn't get my pretzel because I was being shamed by Tony and by Sylvia. It's like, why do you need a pretzel? We just ate. La, la, la. I'm like, I want my
yeah,
pretzel.
because we had the pre-show lounge too, where they have food and drinks and things like that. It was fun. They have like different photo booths, all that stuff that VIP Nation does, which is great. They always do a first class job. As if you'd listened to our Kylie episode, they weren't a part of that, and I wish they were, because the experience would have been better. So shout out to VIP Nation. Look at me,
VIP
shout
Nation.
out.
Is that going to be a new thing in the pod? Are we going to start shouting out people?
Yeah,
we might have to.
It cost them like $5 a shout out.
Yeah.
Oh, at the lounge, actually, they had a piece of furniture that was used on the set for the music video Scream. It was that white chair.
That's cool.
That, if you're familiar with the music video, it's the one where Janet's sitting on. She's got like her leg up, and they're both playing like video games off a console off it. Yeah. So that chair was there. That was pretty cool. We'll insert picture here.
Did she play that? Did she play Scream?
She did. Yeah.
Nice. She always does that. It's always, I have a picture of it that like you can see Michael's face behind her and she's like pointing up, and I'm like,
that's cool.
That's the shot.
It's just still hard to believe that he's gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the show, she's amazing. 2 years in a row we've watched we've gone to these shows. So it's all of a sudden I guess I'm a Janet fan. Well, I was, but Uber fan now.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Like
I
this
was
is getting to Madonna
surprised.
level.
I mean, I
Madonna
was
level
surprised that
fandom.
she went on tour again this year. I was kind of like, when I heard about the announcement, I was like, again?
Yeah. I look together again.
Together again?
Yeah.
I liked the move last year of having Ludacris be the opener,
Mhm.
and then this year have it be Nelly. Like it really is hitting that early 2000s super hip hop, just a set full of nothing but hits. I
Mhm.
love when an artist of the caliber of Janet does something like that, where it's like she could have brought anybody on tour and people will sit through it even if they don't like it. But the fact that you're giving them this, like, you know what, here's 45 minutes to an hour of just like radio hits. You're going to know every song, get the party started. I love that move. I wish more
And we
more
did.
artists her caliber did more like that.
I actually was, as we were watching Nelly perform, I was like, damn, I forgot how many hits this guy has. Like, it was
Right.
just one after another after another. I'm like, I know this one. I know that one. I know this one. Like, you kind of just forget. And then you realize, damn, I'm old. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah. And Nelly looks good. Can I just say,
looks great.
Nelly looked great. Janet looks great. Like, I was like, how are they older than me? I don't understand, because I just in peak form. Well, Nelly isn't. He's having a baby, not him, but
yeah, he's married to Ciara, maybe, or Ashanti.
Ashanti.
No, it's Ashanti.
Okay.
Yeah, because Ciara's married to the football guy.
Yep. Ashanti. Yeah, because then I saw a picture this week and they had their baby shower even on top of that. Imagine that, you're playing all these shows and the one day you have off, you have to rush home and you have to have the baby shower. I thought that was kind of cool. Like,
that's awesome.
Oh,
so
I just looked
Nelly
up.
is 49.
Yeah,
He's
49.
I just saw that.
So I am older than him, but sorry, Nelly.
He looks great.
Yeah. I mean, at 49, like, geez, he looks a lot better than the people I saw in the crowd that were a lot younger than him. That's for sure.
Yes,
Fabio.
there may have been. Excuse me. There were a couple of
you.
questionable people in the crowd that were just like, "Oh, why are they here?" But
I was gonna say,
show.
what's the crowd like for a Janet show?
Very different than last year, right, Fabio?
I would say, yeah, you're right. It was.
Last year there was like fights in the stands. There was like this guy and this girl trying to, they started out as friends, and then I don't know, they started drinking, and then that doesn't lead anywhere good. And yeah, they were like, "Well, why are you sitting over there? You're standing in my space." And it was a whole thing last year. So I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But this year,
kerfuffle.
I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, we had better seats this year, obviously, but the people around us were awesome this year, I think, except for one guy. And
his partner there, him and her
something.
were just definitely on something. Like,
yeah.
he looked
like what's his name? He looked like Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Bald head, and he was just like sweating, like his whole
profusely.
Skull was like, it was just nuts.
He had
he had
sweat
that
rag.
towel that hit Fabio.
At like probably an hour and a half into it, like he's like spinning around for whatever song she's singing, I forget. And then
he live streamed the whole thing, not
the whole thing. That SOB had like a backup battery.
First row.
Yep, he was in the first row. We're literally right behind us, and he had a backup battery with a plug connected to his phone. So all you could see was this like white cord everywhere, and him like just filming everything. And he could barely stand up. I'm just like, this is a mess, but I'm not going to allow this to affect. But then his sweat rag hits me like right here. Thank God it didn't hit me in the face, because at that point I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
But
he was bothering the people around him, because I think security came over, and I think they gave him a final warning. Him and his party of 4. Yeah,
there's 4 of them.
So, and then he tried to sneak into the meet and greet at the end. That wasn't going to happen. Imagine the poor lady standing there, and around the corner you see this guy. Woo, no thanks.
When we're sitting waiting for the meet and greet to have, or wait to be escorted to where it's going to happen, and we see this mess of a person walk up, and he's just like, with his sweat rag drooped over his bald head, still sweating, mind you. He's just like talking to the head of the VIP experience, and he's just like, so this is where the and he's looking at his phone, and he's just like pretending to scroll through as if he has like documentation that'll say that he can get in. He was totally trying to sneak his way in, and the whole time I'm like, if this person comes into contact with the angel that is Janet, I will die. Like, no, I couldn't even imagine. But
I would
no, it
fight
didn't
him if
happen.
he went in because I don't want him around her.
I literally would have been like,
I would play
security.
security,
That is a
yeah.
threat right there. Don't even.
Yeah.
I was ready.
So I
because
guess
he
this
was
is a
gross.
segue into your
Oh,
what's behind you there. Your
Oh
your
yeah,
Janet Jackson.
we obviously had some merch, and everybody knows I love me a tote. And what's
Nice.
better than
This one
tote?
zips.
This one zips. So yeah,
A zip tote. That's what's
a
up.
zip tote. Yeah, this is
Yep.
pretty nice. Yeah.
So show the class what you got.
Now, let me see. Okay, kids.
For those of you
Good.
listening on audio, too bad. Now you have to wait to the video.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Which drops the week after we normally drop our episodes. So check it
Yeah,
out.
why don't you watch it? Thanks. I look particularly nice today, so you might want to look.
Oh, is that what nice
Not.
is for you?
Yes, correct.
I'm having a wild hair day, but I have a collared
I
shirt
love
on,
it.
so that's a whole new thing.
I
for
love
me.
it.
I
You're
like
like
the
Back to the
collared shirt.
Future. You're
That's
Back to the
great.
Future over there. I
You
love
two
it.
are on par.
Nice.
Got me a nasty boy T-shirt.
All right.
I'm nasty like that.
Yes, he is. He's nasty.
Nasty. You dirty. Shout out to the Housewives of New Jersey.
Real Housewives of New Jersey. We love them so
Oh my
much.
god. Oh god. This is actually a really great shirt. It's got all the shows and stops on the tour. This is a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep, I got that one too.
Oh, these were the drink. What is it? The drink tickets that we got while we're at the VIP lounge.
That's cool.
So those are cool.
Playing cards.
Playing cards. Ooh, and this was our commemorative ticket for the show.
Yep.
Together again. Really nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So it's great that they're doing like these hard tickets again.
Yeah.
Which
Like all
is
these
great.
packages are including that commemorative ticket.
People want the tickets. Why not just bring back regular tickets?
Yeah, exactly.
Kill the trees.
Ooh, the lanyard that does nothing. What do you call it, Sylvia?
It's a feel good laminate.
Feel good laminate. There you go. Yeah. Feel good laminate. And then I broke the bank on this guy right here. So this is a commemorative together again hardcover coffee table photo book. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I haven't opened it up yet, but it's
Thank God you
got
didn't.
some
Every
heft.
show, every time Fabio goes to a Janet Jackson show, something spills. It's not even
All the
his
time.
stuff. And there was like a water spillage again, like from some, people just
somebody
walking
dropped
by
their
and
drink or whatever.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, grab the bag. That's usually the thing now. Is like just water is spilled around Fabio.
My merchandise is now. Yeah. So yeah, no, the merchandise was actually really good for this year. I think the merch was better this year than last year.
Yep.
She had a lot of options for shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, hats, just a lot of different stuff. It was pretty good. But I'm loving this bag. This is my new beach bag for the summer.
Nice.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
For the summer, you can take it down to Florida for your house.
We'll take it there.
Pool.
Never-ending summer.
Yeah, for Fabio.
How many times have you guys seen Janet?
Oh. Damn it, I should have thought of this before the damn show.
Probably for me, probably around 7 times.
Wow.
I'm old, so that means like that 7's really not a lot.
I've gone probably close to that. Maybe I feel like I've probably been to one show more than you have where we didn't go together. One of the ones that does the show from 2012, that was the first time I had ever been closer to her than the next part of this discussion.
Oh yeah, that's the one I didn't go to because I could only get certain tickets, and you guys were in what? It was at the Box Center. It was like to see Janet in a theater is like
that's
nuts.
crazy.
That was great. That was a great
Wasn't
tour.
it second row or third?
We were in second row, but we were off to the side. So literally, there was nobody in front of us because the first row was like half the size. So we might as well have just been in the first row. And she comes out, and it's me and my cousin Cassandra, and I'll never forget it. Like, she comes out to Pleasure Principle, and there I am, start bawling my eyes out, like hysterically crying to this, to her coming out singing a very happy, upbeat song, and I'm just like, Pleasure Principle. I was a mess, and my Cassandra's just like, "What's wrong?" I'm just like, "I'm happy. These are happy tears."
Oh.
Yeah, that's
it was a mess.
Yeah, he's a mess. Totally. And now I can just and then the other thing, we'll get into the meet and greet part, but like Janet and breathing the air that she was in. But she on the way out from the meet and greet, Fabio like accosted me. He was hugging me and I did not like it.
Oh yeah. I went up to her and I gave her a big hug and I'm like, thank you so much. And Sylvia's just like rigid and like, like all
my job's done here.
Yeah, pretty much her natural state, just like, this like skeleton bag of bones, like, get off me.
Yeah.
We're and done I was here. Like, I'm done. All right, that's it. But I just wanted you to know, I thank you. I appreciate it. Where's the exit?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, like this show was, I had promised Fabio and my cousin Cassandra a long time ago, if there was ever an opportunity to meet Janet, that I would figure it out and get them there. So I'm done. So we're good.
Mm-hmm. This is good. This is birthday present, Christmas present for at least a decade.
Yeah.
At least.
So,
but probably 5 years.
Okay, now get into the meet and greet.
Okay, so the meet and greet, this was fun. So section 113, like head over there. And there weren't that many people there that I thought, I mean, what'd you say? It's like maybe 30, if that?
Maybe 50, I'm guessing.
Maybe? Okay.
It's pretty limited.
Numbers. I was expecting more, but the people were there. We were all lined up, and Diamond, she was the head of the VIP experience. She was very nice.
Shout out to Diamond.
Shout out Diamond.
More shout outs. What else? We were handed black plastic bags so that we could put all of our personal stuff in it. Basically your phones, lanyards, anything that you had on you. Nothing can be autographed, or I'm sure it's for security purposes too. So we loaded up everything in there, and then we proceeded to wait, which they said it was probably going to take like about 20-30 minutes, but then it ended up being longer because apparently as Janet is leaving her dressing room, approaching the area of where the meet and greet is going to happen, there was a gas leak. The box. There you go. The box. There was a gas leak in the box. Good. Yeah, so they had to obviously take her back, and they had to take everything, set up the new box apparently somewhere else in a more well ventilated area. And so that, I think we waited like what, maybe an hour at that point. Yeah, I think it was like about an hour till we actually lined us up to go.
Yeah. What I appreciated about this show too was everything didn't run late. I mean, I know the meet and greets after the show, but that's part of the thing. But she started the show on time, and even this meet and greet, even waiting, it wasn't her fault. That was the gas leak. Everybody was super professional. Everything, like Fabi said, put your stuff in the bags. We'll hand it to security. Once you walk in, hand it to the security guy. The other security person will give it to you once you're done your photo. And they just time it out. They're like, hey, want to have a hug with her? Just ask her first. I went first. I went first in the group. There was like a couple before me. Now, mind you, because of working with different people, I do a lot of these set up meet and greet type things. So I'm used to a certain thing. And the first thing I noticed is how quiet it was.
It was so quiet.
So quiet. And we're walking up, and so the first couple is done. It's like, yeah, they were lame. Great. See you later. Then I walk around the corner, and I was wearing my Sully's t-shirt. Shout out Sully's. It said, I love their t-shirts. It's like, they're the best. Anyway, so it says Fenway, Boylston, Causeway, Boston. So it's a really cool shirt. And so I see Janet reading it, and I'm like, "Oh, it's sports." And so she smiles, and I head over, and like amazing show, like great time. Um, and I apologize in advance for the 3 people behind me because there'll probably be a lot of sobbing and crying. And she has her creative director next to her, and they're both laughing. And I'm like, oh my God, I made Janet Jackson laugh with my crazy family. So, we take the photo, and then thank you, off I go. Less than 15 seconds, that's the usual. And then in comes Tony, Fabio's husband.
Yep.
He purposely wore Alexander McQueen.
Yep.
Because Janet, she's
a big
repping
fan.
Yeah. So he was like, Alexander McQueen. Okay, great. And so he was just like, he played it cool, like out of all of us. But my point in saying I went first and I was trying to play it cool too, is then I had admitted it later to Fabio, was that, remember in our Prince episode when I said it was the first time I was starstruck?
Yeah.
Haven't been starstruck since, until that Friday, when you walk around the corner, you see how tiny she is. She's under the weather. She's wearing a hoodie. She's very, very tiny, very, very shy. Or you're the one like trying to engage, and God, like I can't imagine standing there waiting to see what the hell's going to come around that corner. And to me, it hit me because I'm like, it's Janet, but it's also the Jacksons, and that whole legacy, and that, growing up listening to her brother as well, right? So I'm just like, holy shit, that's Janet Jackson. And literally, I'm like, this was for them, but I'm kind of like, but I'm like, thank God I made her laugh, because I'm like, I think all this time leading up, making fun of Bobby, like, you're gonna your pants by the time you get there. And I'm like, oh my God, it was me. I'd set myself up to be a dork. But it was fine. But then all of a sudden, Fabio came by, and what happened, Fabio?
The guy's like, okay,
this from the corner.
Yeah, from the corner, she's like watching it. And the guy's like, okay, it's your turn. So I'm like, I'm about to go in, and then it hits me. I'm like, oh my God, what am I about to do right now? Because at this point I had no clue what I still wasn't going to say. I turn the corner, and there she is. She's just like this tiny little person, but like you can sense like all this force behind her. And I get up there, and I'm just like, hi, it was a great show. What an amazing performance. And I just said, thank you. And at that point, when I realized, I was like, what I was going to go into saying thank you, something else. But then she looks at my shirt, which is the one that I'm wearing right now. Ta-da. And she's like, she points at it, and she's just like, oh, I like your shirt. I'm like, thank you. And I realized, I'm like, oh my God. I actually said this to her. I was like, oh my God, wow. Because it hits me. At the same time, it's not just Janet. It's like you said, Sylvia, it's like the dynasty that follows her. It's like her brother, her family, like her body of work, like everything. It's just like that family is one of the closest things that we have in our country that would be even considered royalty. What they've done in the industry, it's like they've done so much. And I think it just really hit me. And I think in that moment, she saw that I was like, uh-oh, we have one here.
Starstruck.
Yep. Like this one's going to pop.
We have one. We have one.
Go.
Red alert, red alert.
Red alert. So she's like, oh, and like she looks at me and she's like, you're so sweet. Like she realized what I was, what was happening on my face.
She's seen that look before.
Yeah. And then so she's just like, let's take a picture. And then she comes in, she puts her arms around me and gives me a little hug. And I was like, okay. And then I immediately go in, and we're like face to face. And the guy's like, 1, 2, 3, click. And I'm like, he goes, 1, 2, 3, click. And I was like, and I looked at her, and I was like, thank you again. And that was it. And I walked away, and I'm just like walking away, and I'm walking towards Sylvia and Tony. And I'm like, get me the fuck out of here right now.
But we couldn't, because we had one more in our party.
Because we had one more behind me.
Yeah. So yeah, my cousin Cassandra then pops in, and she got her nails all Janet. So every nail was a different album, a different era. It was
That's
very
cool.
intricate.
Insert
So
photo here.
she, yeah, insert photo here. So she walks in and she's like, I didn't want to be like, yo, look at my nails. But I guess the
Hi.
creative director saw it and was like, whoa. And then he's like, we got to get some video and some photos. And then I saw them like, I'm looking at Janet because she didn't want to really touch anybody because she said she was feeling under the weather. So she was trying not to spread her germs. I was like, I'll take your Janet germs. That's cool.
I will take whatever disease you have.
Stop. Jesus. So
it's Janet Jackson. Come on.
Yeah. So you would get the germs from that towel that was thrown on you from the guy in the first
That's
row.
probably what it was.
You don't want those
Yeah.
ones.
No, you don't want those germs. But yeah, so they videotaped her nails and took photos of it, and I saw them take photos, and then we're walking out, and then they said, we'll get you the photos to the link after management approval. So
You're like, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty rad. Like, this is
Wow.
only her second year doing this. She's never really done meet and greets. So, like I said, like watching her do these, and I'm like, and then I've been with other artists and other people that have done these a lot, and the difference of like, there's like, hey, welcome to the meet and greet, where they're just like, and where she's just like, hey, welcome, so, and you just like want to protect her at all costs because again, you're sitting there, you're standing there and you don't know what's coming around the corner to take a photo with you, and how are you going to interact. It's kind of rough, but anyway, it was fun, and it was fun watching Fabio, and he can't hug me anymore.
No, that's it, at least for the next decade or so. Yeah, it was a great time. It was really, really good. And we're all walking out of there just kind of like we're all floating to the exit in a way, and it hit me like a half hour later, like as I'm driving us all home. I literally felt like I just like out of nowhere, just like I came back into my body. Like I was done floating. And I was like, whoa, I think is that, and I was telling someone like, I think this is what it's like being starstruck. She's like, yep. That's what it was. That's what happened. And I was just like, it's pretty amazing, when you get to meet somebody of that, that has that. Like you said, with Prince, they're right there. Both of them, those two. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah,
So
I don't
now
even
it's
know what I
twice.
would do. I'm not even like the biggest Janet Jackson. Everybody likes Janet Jackson. But I think being in that same situation, I would probably be so starstruck. And I'm like, I probably can only name you like 3 Janet Jackson songs. But the fact that like you're Janet effing Jackson, like that's like mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like her family, they've been around. They've had a big part in the industry and lots of parts of it. And there's not one person that doesn't know them, and what they've, given to all of us. So yeah, when you're in front of that, you're just kind of like, you got to give the props to it,
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
that's cool.
Where were you guys in line? Were you like up front, or did you have to wait for a long time?
No, surprisingly, we were up front. We were like the first, like we were in the first like 6 people to go. There was like
awesome.
a husband and wife in front of us, and then it was Sylvia, Tony, myself, and Cassandra. And I don't know.
Did you make that happen, Sylvia?
I knew where to sit when you're waiting for the meet and greet.
ins and outs.
Yeah, you don't sit towards the end because like she's already exhausted. Although like maybe I might have chosen towards the middle because she might have been warmed up by then. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like less awkward.
Right.
Yeah. I always figure like even when we talk about street teaming, right? When you first start doing street teaming, you're handing out flyers or whatever. You're just like, oh, I don't want to look at you while I'm giving you this, So like I look at a meet and greet like that where you just gotta let a few people go, but then I'm like, nah.
I gotta do this.
So yeah, there was a few, and she also had some
Awesome.
other VIPs from the band, I think, and industry people that had gone in before to meet her and things like that because they had like regular passes. So yeah, the reason why they didn't want us to take photos with our passes, our feel good passes on, was because then people can take photos of them and
Yeah.
then
Duplicate.
duplicate it. Because I always say they're feel good passes, but you actually did need them to go into the lounge. So, because probably when we did the Madonna one, we needed the wristband, whereas this one, well, we had the wristband for this one too.
Yeah,
So,
but no, hers had like, I think we had like 2 or 3 wristbands for
Yeah.
Madonna. It was literally a collection. At the end of the night, I'm like, what? Why? What? They were all like different colors. There were different hieroglyphics on them, QR codes. Like, I don't get it. This one was simple. It was just one that said
yeah.
VIP and meet and greet lounge. So it's good.
Oh yeah, here we go. I got that too. That's the one.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
We're showing it after the fact, so by the time this airs, tour's over.
Yeah. Does she have a long? Is she like in the middle of the tour, or did it just kick off a couple weeks ago? Whatever.
Kicked off a couple weeks ago, and I forget where it was, but it's ending up in Phoenix at the end of July.
Oh,
so
cool. Nice.
Yeah.
I always like those summer tours that are like in an arena, or it depends on where you are, I guess, and like what's available. But usually when they're doing a shed tour, it's kind of like just sheds, or it's like just arenas. And the fact that this one's kind of in between and doing a little bit of both is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What were some of
that's
your
great.
songs that you were looking forward to hearing?
Nasty. What have you done for me lately? Like,
Yeah.
like anything on Control, because we're Portuguese, and like the song Control is great.
Yeah.
Because it can be about like your family trying to control, like I control, like I do what I want, that, but you don't because you're Portuguese.
It's pretty much the
So,
whole aspect of our lives. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the album I grew up with, right? So any
Yeah.
of the early stuff, the deep cuts, cool, but Love Will Never Do Without You. I don't know, they're all, That's the Way Love Goes, and then she did that cover. What was it? You probably think the song is about you. She did that cover.
Oh, that's
yes.
Yeah.
Oh
She
God.
did her Janet twist to it.
Yeah.
Carly Simon.
Carly Simon's.
Yeah.
I bet you think the song is about you. Yeah. That
You're
was
So
off.
Vain.
Don't you?
You're So Vain.
That
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
that
but
was off.
It didn't.
Velvet Rope.
But it didn't have. Yeah, it didn't really have the. It was kind of Carly Simon, but not. She had done like a mashup of it, right, Fabio? I don't. Think
Yeah.
She didn't say the actual "You're So Vain."
I'm always, I don't know why, but like every time I hear it's one of my favorite Janet songs, but for some reason, like I always forget about it until I hear it, whether it's on the radio or I'm in concert. All Right is such a great song. It is such a good, feel good song. And when it came on, I'm just, it always happens. I'm like, oh, that's right. And that's just one of my favorites. Escapade, Feedback.
Escapade is like.
Feedback is great.
Escapade is like Madonna's Holiday for me. So it's
Yeah.
it's kind of like the equivalent. So
yeah,
it
That's a good
makes
one.
you want to dance. You have to get up and do it. But no, she was fantastic. And the fact that the dancing that she does, I'm like, and then to have to spend time with us at the end after you did that whole show, I was like, well, okay.
I
thanks.
couldn't. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
want
cool
to.
that she did it like after the show and it wasn't like a pre-show, like,
Mhm.
come in, do your thing. That's cool.
Yeah, because I mean, I would prefer before the show because then I'm not a sweaty mess by the end.
Yeah,
And,
I feel like almost
yeah.
every band I have, I mean, I've never done a meet and greet, I don't think, like intentionally, but I feel like they're always like the pre-show meet and greet, like come down, we'll do autographs, play an acoustic song or whatever. And
Yeah, I think a lot of people, old school, it's after show, but like a lot of people are doing pre-show now because then once you're done, you're out of there and you
Yeah.
can just keep on going to the next city or whatever. I know that's usually the preference, but cool if you want to do it at the end. I was like, now we're waiting on the link for the photo, and now I'm scared that what if my photo looks terrible and
And they don't release it. You don't get it.
Well, if Janet, they always say like if she blinks or whatever, they take, they're not going to post it because they want obviously her to look her best. But I'm like, but what about me? Like, what if I
Yeah.
look like I'm scaring the woman next to me? Like I'm just like, Like what if I look? Well, I'm just afraid it's going to look awkward because it's just such an awkward thing to begin with, and you're
Yeah.
like, and that's the photo that you have forever. It's like she's looking at you like, who the hell is this person next to me?
Great. I didn't really think of it that way.
Sorry.
I'm already like I'm
A new
already thinking to
fear
myself.
unlocked.
Yeah. I'm already feeling. I'm like, God, I'm probably not going to get the photo. I probably did something or it didn't look good, which I'm okay with because I had the experience and I'll never forget it. It's literally right up there. I mean, the photo would be like a really nice bonus, but that meet and greet was like enough. It really was.
Yeah,
Was it?
that's so cool. You got to meet
But
him.
then we left. What did you say to me, Fabio?
I don't know.
Like
I was
we
on
said
a
lot of
high. You
things.
tell me.
He's like, all these shows we're going to. Now we're like,
Oh.
first it was going to shows. Now we have shows with packages. Now we're meeting the people. What's next? I'm like hanging out with them.
Yeah, now you're gonna go on tour with them.
I know.
No,
Go
it's kind of
on
like
stage.
we have to collect. Like now we got to collect like all of our little meet and greets, and like we collect them like Pokemon or whatnot. So I kind of do hope that I get the photo so I can maybe begin a collection. Is that what I'm doing now in my mid-40s? Yeah, I guess so. I do know that if I do get that photo, it is going to be in my annual Christmas and New Year's.
That's your Christmas photo? That's going to
that'll
be
my
Christmas photo.
That's going to be it's going to be my Christmas photo.
I don't send out Christmas cards.
No, I don't. You don't, so I don't have to worry. But I'll definitely that's going to be it.
What did you do this year? I went to shows, and there's like nothing about my life. It's just
shows.
Happy New Year. Here you go. Enjoy this commemorative card.
Just kept on going. Now we're talking about going to Taylor Swift in Miami in October. So we'll see what happens there.
You have to do it.
Yeah, I think we should.
So many things, and then next week we have coming up is Atlantis. So that's that meet and greet.
That'll be really fun. Yeah, Tony's really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I know. He's told me 1,000 times. That's the one I really want. I'm like, all you really want? All I really want. So, sorry.
There you go, kiddo.
Cool.
Well, yeah.
Anything else we want to talk about here, kids? Any questions? Comments?
You guys talked about your favorite songs. Talked about Nelly. I've always wanted to see Nelly. I was actually very jealous you guys got to see Nelly.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I was surprised that I liked him that much. He's just a good time,
Yeah.
So
I feel like he's like the perfect opening act.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I kept getting like this feeling of like these flashbacks of like different scenes from like the Fast and the Furious the whole time when he was just performing, and I was like, he's probably got a couple of songs in there.
Most likely. He's very much, it's like that era,
Yeah, exactly.
I just remember like being in middle school. I didn't like Fast and the Furious, but I liked the first.
I mean, I like the
Nelly records.
Yeah, the first and second, you like the movies, but then when when they hit like the third, fourth, and fifth, you're just like, damn it, I really have to keep on watching it, because at this point, it's like, even though they're not the greatest, but you still have to wonder like, what are they going to do now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the Final Destination movies. Yeah. How many times? How many different ways can you die?
Nope.
We have to talk about death in every episode.
Every episode, yes. So on this segment of death on Stub Stories,
Final Destination.
I only saw that first movie once, and I've never seen any of the other ones after it. It played with me. I was like, I don't like that show.
Same here. I only saw the first one.
And I like horror movies. Don't get me wrong. But
all right, I think we're good. I think we've talked.
We somehow brought horror movies into the Janet Jackson show, which is absolutely mind blowing to me, and I can't believe that actually happened. That's amazing.
What, we can go anywhere with this. I mean, whatever's on our mind.
Story time.
If you have a Stub Story idea that you want to share with us, or even comment on an episode, email us at info@stubstories.net, and maybe I will read it dramatically over our new segment. Sylvia does dramatic readings of your emails. Thanks.
And make sure you guys are following our socials, Facebook, Instagram. Smash the subscribe button on YouTube, TikTok. We're everywhere. Find us and join us.
Sylvia.
And I'm Ricky.
Bye.
See ya.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
That last goodbye. Stubstories.net. Hi, this is Sylvia.
And I'm Ricky, and we are Stub Stories.
Please follow us everywhere you listen to podcasts.
You can find us on every social media channel. Make sure you're following our YouTube, like, subscribe.
And check out our website, stubstories.net. That's it. Thank you.